We were a 21-bed emergency night shelter. It was a safety net under a lot of cracks in the system that a lot of very, very vulnerable people fall through. Helping some of the most chaotic, damaged members of our society to sort their lives out. To help people lose that hopelessness, that you see that there is hope and there is a future. Comfort, warm, to show them that they matter. Belonging. The official figures give a hugely distorted picture of the size of the problem. In London alone, St Mungo's and The Passage, which are two organisations that run homelessness services in London, counted 3,000 people in the financial year 2007-2008. Whereas the official figure is 450 for the whole country. Now, it doesn't mesh together. And the problem with the official figures and the official policy is that when you put them together, if you've only got 450 rough sleepers, why do you need emergency night shelters? You don't. When you're looking for funding cuts, this goes straight away. We don't hit the targets. Churchyards, cemeteries, abandoned buildings.
And now they're losing the last night shelter in the southeast. Not quite sure what's going to happen to the many, many people that have been using the service and are left outside.
If this was a dog's home, we wouldn't have got closed. Homelessness isn't a trendy charity.
People who had a roof over their head last night don't have a roof over their head tonight. The elephant in the room. The elephant. The elephant in the room. The elephant. And the official figure for this county, for Kent, is 26. Well, you know, I could probably show you half that in Canterbury alone, never mind the rest of the county. So the official figures give a hugely distorted picture.
a friend of mine, drinks 5-6 litres of cider a day to deal with his mental health issues. Now the mental health services can't help him because he's drinking, but the alcohol services can't help him because he's got mental health issues. Now the only suggestion they have is, well, you need to stop drinking before you can get help. But he's drinking because he can't sleep, because he has the nightmares. Cracks
in the system.
To -9.
But there's going to be freezing temperatures overnight. -20, -17, then to -21.
It was -17.6.
-20 is certainly possible.
In order for a council to help you as a homeless person, you need to make a homelessness application, and that involves a process by which you're assessed, and only those given priority need are eligible for sort of help straight away. There are central government guidelines for that. However, they're only guidelines, so local councils can set their own criteria for meeting priority need. And I've known some very, very vulnerable people not be given any help, being told, no, you're not significantly mentally unwell, you're going to have to go back and sleep on the street.
Last year, a guy turned up here who had been discharged from our local hospital to no fixed abode. They knew he had nowhere to live, but they discharged him when he was still suffering from a condition which paralysed his throat, and he couldn't swallow anything that wasn't liquidised. So all of his food had to be pulverised, and they released him onto the street knowing that he had no way of eating anything. So I then took him back to the hospital, twisted their arm to readmit him. I had a number of conversations with their discharge coordinator the following day. She then sent him back here in a cab, and she'd been down to Argos and bought him a liquidizer, and then re-discharged him. Oh, I've done everything I need to do for him now. But where was he going to plug it in? Despair.
No hope.
Degraded. Helpless. Wet.
Isolated.
Horrid.
Depressed.
Worrying. Cold.
Lonely. Desperate.
Hungry. Cold. Cold. We were at a 21-bed emergency night shelter.
The last night shelter in the southeast.
There was a safety net under a lot of cracks in the system that a lot of very, very vulnerable people fall through. Helping some of the most chaotic, damaged members of our society to sort their lives out. We lost our funding last year.
Not quite sure what's going to happen to the many, many people that have been using the service and then left outside.
Sliding into the deep freeze, the threat of a new record low in Britain tonight.
Remains in the grip of the big freeze.
No real sign of any let-up in the big
Temperatures plunged
freeze.
to as low as -7,
-3
Minus 18.4 Celsius.
to -17.7 to -20.
-7 tonight,
It's minus 15.
-5.
It was -17.6.
Minus 20 is certainly possible.
-3 to -7.
Minus 17 down to minus 21 on Friday afternoon.
But there's going to be freezing temperatures overnight, as low as -20.
So the temperatures are going to drop again as low as -5 and -6 degrees Celsius.
With warnings not to venture out in the freezing conditions.
Temperatures already well below freezing, and Borders Council is urging people not to go out at all.